Have you ever heard someone just call another person crazy and the other person goes crazy? Because we cannot accept the fact that sometimes things do go crazy. But again, it depends on the context. So sometimes your friends may call you crazy or mad, depending on how awesome or how great or how strange a thing that you have done. So it can come in the normal context, but it can also come in the context that we don't expect. Sometimes it's when you want to say something that is proper, realistic, and you're trying to tell your team that this idea can work, and people think, oh, this guy is crazy or this woman is crazy. It happens. Now, I've heard people say, oh, we are all crazy, but it's the degree of madness that really differs. And sometimes I used to think, I don't think I'm mad. No, I don't want to accept that phrase. Now, let me take you back to my local town in Kisii. I saw 3 people, and let me say 4. 4 people who were not mentally stable. One woman who I used to hear that she used to be a nun before she went on the streets. She used to carry a lot of baggages, a lot of stuff, and some of them were around her waist, some of them were on her back, and she used to go where we used to dump rubbish, and that's where she used to call home. But she had a lot of baggage, and we would often wonder, particularly I would often wonder, how did she manage to carry all this baggage without losing even one? And then she would tie her boxes nicely like packages, and she would still carry them along. Then there was another guy, a madman, but this guy used to be naked most of the time. And I would wonder, is he not freezing in the night? Where does he sleep? How does he survive? What does he eat? He was naked and he didn't feel ashamed to walk the way he was. And then there was a young girl who used to come at my place of work at break time, and she would come and have tea with us, and she would talk to people, but she wasn't in the right state of mind. You would tell by the discussions and by the way she behaved, she was erratic. But then somebody in their right mind made this girl pregnant. And I think by the time I left Kisii, she was pregnant a second time. I overheard that it was somebody who was a colleague at work who had made her pregnant. I don't know the whole story, but that's the way I hear it. Now, the 4th person, because I've said about the woman, the man, and the girl. When I look at all those 3 people, I see myself in that kind of a situation. There was a time I had a lot of baggages in my life, and I carried them along in my life. But then one day I cast those burdens to Jesus, and my burdens were lifted up. There was a time I felt naked, and I knew I was naked because I didn't have, I felt like I was vulnerable, and I was ashamed of the things that I had done in life that I couldn't speak. Yes, I know they are shameful things, and some of the things we don't even want to talk about, but I've done them, and I was there, I did them, and yes, they were shameful things. But then again, Jesus came and took away the shame, clothed me in his righteousness. It doesn't mean that I'm right now, but because of his righteousness, I've been made right. Then the young girl. Yes, I was young. And also during those days that I did so many things that were shameful, I was young. But unfortunately, my mind was impregnated by a lot of thoughts and a lot of hopelessness. The young girl I was talking about previously had a baby that she protected. No one could take the baby from her. And most of the time, she would remember to feed the baby first before she fed herself. Now, in my situation of hopelessness, I fed my hopelessness. And I felt more hopeless and hopeless. But thank God again, through Jesus Christ, my hope has been restored by faith, and my life has been renewed. So when we say about the degree of madness, I can say, I am peculiar. I am crazy. My Bible tells me I am fearfully and wonderfully made. We are different. And sometimes when we go through the motions of lives and the emotions of life, we carry along baggages. We carry along our shamefulness. We carry along our hopelessness. And we think life is just this way. But let me tell you, you don't have to conclude that way. So as you ponder about your own life, how much baggage do you have? How shameful are the things that you've done in the past or you're doing at present? Or how much hopeless are you feeling at this right moment? Do you sometimes feel like you could be better than the other person, and also you could be in a better position than other people, and therefore you kind of, instead of helping, you abuse other people, or you put people in a position where they are not able to come out of hopelessness? So as you ponder about your own life, think of it. Think of it. What do you do when you're overburdened by life? What do you do when you become hopeless? What do you do when you feel you're ashamed? What do you do? There is a place for you that you can go, and that place, it's at the feet of Jesus. It is at the feet of Jesus, where you can lay your burdens, and you can trust and you can believe in the sacrifice that he paid for us. And if you want to know more details about how Jesus loves us and how Jesus lifts the burden, but I can promise you it's not an easy thing. It's not a one-day thing. It's a process. Yeah, you start by believing, and you start by casting your burdens unto Jesus, and he will lift them up. He will clean you up. This man, the crazy guy, when he was prayed for one time in my church, when he came the next weekend, it was unbelievable. You couldn't believe he was the one. He was smart. He was different. He had been clothed. He was just a normal guy, as we call normal. I don't know exactly the definition now, but he was fine. So we can go at the feet of Jesus, and we can lay our burdens there, and we can trust for his righteousness to clothe us, and then we can have a new song of praise. So we can have the madness replaced by gladness. So if you want to learn more about these details of coming back to normality, or leaving behind your madness and craziness, or doing it, or living life with that craziness, but still being glad that you're a new creature. I mean, you're a new creation, yes. You're a creature, yes. It's possible. God has done so much for me, and I cannot keep quiet. I cannot keep quiet, because I know whom I have believed, and I know where I have been and where I am now. And that's why I'm encouraging people also to come and cast their burdens unto Jesus, for he cares for us. So have a beautiful day today. And in your own craziness and in your own madness, remember that there is one who did even a more crazier thing, that he died on the cross, a very horrible death, for us to be set free. And I am free this morning, and you can be free this morning. But you need to take the first step, and it's the step of faith. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.